Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Michael?
I'm just grinding.
You are grinding, bro.
I'm grinding out here.
You're in an undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location, hotel life. All is well. I just have champagne problems. Hotel bed, wake up, neck's a little off, you know. Nutrition isn't the easy. There's certain like cities in the world where you can be and nutrition is relatively easy. I feel like at this undisclosed location, I'm struggling on the nutrition front to have good stuff unless I want to like DoorDash something for $50, which is absurd for every single meal.
Why is it? Because there's nothing near you?
Yeah, nothing that I'm a huge fan of. But you know, fly back tomorrow.
What are the easiest cities to eat healthy in?
New York City. What's funny is the easiest cities to eat healthy are probably the easiest cities to eat unhealthy too.
Oh yeah. Like the convenience of, yeah.
Increased supply. I got a banana here, though. I was going to have a muffin post-workout, but I said no.
I said absolutely not.
Yeah, man.
You had protein, though, right? Post-workout?
Yeah. Had a 25-gram shake.
Dude, oh my gosh, that reminded me. I have to send you this video. So Eric Roberts was just here at my place last week. You saw. Mm-hmm. You did the first podcast, then Eric did the second one. Mm-hmm. So Eric's huge. Like, if people who haven't met him in person, I don't think they realize how massive, like how he's a giant. And he had never tried a core power shake, like
which is wild, power shakes, by the way,
which is crazy. And I think they're everywhere. So for an average person, I feel like a lot of average people, like regular everyday people who aren't in the fitness industry, drink them. Eric's in the fitness industry, never had one. So he was like, okay, I'll try it. I was like, dude, they're really good. Like you should get it. And he was like, which one should I get? Because they had like the 42 gram and then the 25 gram or 26 gram. I was like, the lower protein one tastes better. It's just like it's just less protein. So like if you just want to have the better taste, go with the lower protein option. So we went with that one. We bring it back to my house. I have a video. It's all, I have video cameras throughout my house. I have a video of this. I've never seen anything like this. So Eric is massive. He sits down at the table, just like you did right now. So if you're watching on YouTube, you just saw Mike take a drink of water from his bottle, okay? Just like that. He just put it up, put it down, drank the whole thing in one sip. With that teeny tiny, like, just up, down, boom, it's gone. He did one sip, one gulp.
I'm going to need to see the video to make sure you're not exaggerating the story at all.
I have it right now. I have it right here. I sent it to Eric. Here, look.
If we publish a medium form at 7 a.m.
Hold on. Let me zoom in on him. You'll see this. This is insane.
If
Watch.
we publish a medium form at 7 a.m., we publish the short that we
up.
On our lunch breaks. Love that. I do kind of get right as we sit down. I love that. Hey, that's genius.
Down.
You just drink the whole thing in one sip. You're an absolute
most of it.
Animal.
He drank all of it in that one. It was insane.
Most of it.
Anyway.
I get competitive over the strangest things. All I want to do right now is chug a core power faster than he did.
The thing is, he was so nonchalant in that moment. It wasn't like he was trying to be competitive. He was just very relaxed.
Well, about to be very competitive. Yeah. He did. He took it down quick.
He's in a severe calorie deficit at 2,400 calories a day. Like, that's a severe deficit for him.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. He told me he was on 2,400 in his recent cut where he lost, I forget the exact amount, insane amount of weight in, I don't know, 12 weeks or something. And he was like, dude, it was a really severe deficit. I was only eating 2,400 calories. I was like, bro, that's crazy. And then we were eating it. I had Halo Top. And so I was letting him have some Halo Top. And I had named all the flavors we had. So we had like salted caramel and cookies and cream.
Real quick, and we can cut this out. Is this good content? Because you've told me these stories.
Oh, I told you these stories?
Yeah.
Never mind then.
No, if it's good content, I love it. No, never mind. I was excited to tell you these stories for the first time. And he ate the cookie dough. I was like, oh, that was salted caramel was amazing. He doesn't taste his food. Yeah.
You just ruined the story, Michael. Anyway, let's just keep going.
Well, you said we weren't going to tell it because it wasn't for the content.
We'll keep all this in.
For
now
sure.
It's good content.
For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
I thought I was telling you for the first time. I didn't remember I told you that.
No. It's all good.
Okay. I'm going to be that dad who's like 60 or 70 years old, just telling the same story 80
That
times
dad,
to my
you're
kids.
gonna
I'm
be that- you're
so
gonna-
mad.
45
Dad, you
years
told
old.
us.
What do you mean 70? What are you sipping on?
I got a sugar-free Red Bull and a Topo Chico.
Nice.
But this is good. Red Bull stepped up their game. This is watermelon. They have it's 10 calories, 80 milligrams caffeine. It's really good. Usually their old formula I wasn't the biggest fan of in terms of taste, but the new one's pretty good.
What else we got going on?
Bro, I don't even know it's good content anymore. I don't know what I've told you before. I'm sort of just waiting on you to run this episode now.
The push-up guy is doing lots more sets since I last updated. He's probably done 4 total sets.
The guy out at the pool is doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Is he working out or is he doing it to try and get a pump?
He's trying to get a pump. He's got a bucket hat on, some puka shells, socks with sandals. Yeah.
Is
He's
he with
strutting
people?
around. Not at the moment.
That's a real strategy.
It's a real strategy.
Especially in a party city, you're in bathing suits or swimsuits all day. He's just trying to get a little pump for the next hour or so.
I can't even tell you how much I respect the overlap of function and aesthetic desire that this guy's pulling off right now.
Oh, you're drinking water out of a plastic bottle.
I'm on the road. They don't have a reverse osmosis here. I do think we can talk about that. I think that high quality water in order of importance of things that are going to negatively or positively affect your health is very far down the list. However, I think that if you are going to decide between getting a reverse osmosis installed for $300 that's going to last you 15 years and come out to like, I don't know, $20 a year on average, or drink out of plastic bottles all day, every single day, it makes a lot more sense just to get the high quality water filtration system. Mm-hmm. That being said, if you're traveling and you're scared to ever drink out of plastic bottles because a small amount of BPA is going to have some crazy negative effect on your health, or microplastics in the brain or in your balls or wherever like they end up, that is scary to you. I feel like those are the 2 places that people are most concerned on that issue.
Is that it? The brain and the balls?
Well, they do. They definitely accumulate in testicles, which I don't know. I don't think we actually know what that means and if that is a bad thing in the long term. But if you're terrified to ever drink out of a plastic bottle, even one time, for fear of the negative effects, that's not a super healthy place to be mentally.
Yeah, agreed. You have the reverse osmosis installed?
Of course.
Did you have someone do that? Or you do that yourself?
I did not do that myself. I'm not you. You were asking me a lot of handyman questions. Now that you bought and own your own house, I feel like when I was in Dallas, you asked me 2 or 3 or 4 handyman type. Hey, do you do this on your own, or do you Hey, do you do this, or do you have someone else do this?
I think like there's something to do with your treadmill when you were like, yeah, I'll put it together myself or something. And I was surprised. Like that was an undertaking. That was a big deal, right?
Yeah, because there was a little bit of
a long time.
Electrical wiring. It took longer than I wanted it to take. Yeah.
How it was like, you said it was like 4 or 6 hours or something?
I don't remember it being that long. Hour and a half.
Oh, got it. Okay. Still a while.
Yeah.
So how do you get reverse? You Googled reverse osmosis installer and they came over and they did that?
I had my plumber install it for me.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I wouldn't even know where to begin with something like that.
Now you know.
Is that common for plumbers to know how to do that?
Yeah. Or this guy's just the best. He is the best, but I assume anything to do with piping and water flow through the house is up the alley of the plumbing industry.
Is that only through your sink or is that also in your shower?
No, just through the sink.
Got it. Okay.
You can throw a shower head filter on for $40 or $50. I think you're just asking because you're making conversation, or you think I'm interested in it because I don't think you have any interest in it.
It's the second one.
Yeah.
It's the second one.
Yeah. I mean, I initiated this by saying it's very far down in order of importance. People would better spend their time on eating whole, minimally processed foods, controlling their calories, eating enough protein, strength training, blacking out their room and getting it into the 60s Fahrenheit wise, and getting high quality sleep and getting enough sleep, not spending all day every day on social media, touching grass, getting sun. Like these are all the good things that we know we should do. But again, to spend 15 minutes ordering the thing and then have someone come install it for you if you're planning on being in the same location for a long time, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Sick, bro.
Oh, you don't like ChatGPT anymore.
Dude.
I knew you'd see it my way eventually. It's been wrong on so many things that you were just so frustrated with it.
Grok is so good.
ChatGPT's suspect.
It's influenced. It's influenced it's overly influenced. No, Grok is great. Grok is really good. And I just like the conversational nature of Grok. I like how Grok communicates. I asked it some pretty heated or not heated questions. I asked it some incendiary questions pertaining to the Middle East to see what it would give me on those responses. Super objective. And it was funny because I wanted to play devil's advocate. So I would say things that like were against what I believe just to see what it would say. And then I would say, hey, I think you're being unfair because of X, Y, and Z. And it would come back and be like, hey, I can see why you think I was being unfair. Let me clarify and like try and give a little bit more nuanced perspective on that. It's really incredible.
I had never even used it. When you were getting these, what you perceive to be incorrect answers from ChatGPT, and based on what I know about the founder and origins of the company, it's like there's so many chatbots out there. Why not try a few of them and see what you like?
Yeah, big fan of. I've fully switched over to Grok. I don't use ChatGPT anymore. I'm actually looking to cancel my subscription. Yeah.
Wow.
Grok is amazing. It's cool. Way, way, way better. And I use it for everything. Like whether it's like I want to learn how to. Look, I use it for cooking a lot for the grill. I use it for grilling all the time. Mm-hmm. Just grilled salmon for the first time. Came out perfect.
I liked YouTube for DIY stuff back when they didn't hide the dislike, because similar to my like Lyle versus Mercola or Alan versus Mercola and being on Google and being able to compare sources, the thing about YouTube for DIY is a like to dislike ratio is such a good indicator on quality of video, more so than views, but more so than anything else, that I'd rather have 5 answers and be able to sift through and see which one is most agreed upon for DIY stuff compared to just having one answer. Well, I guess you could.
You could ask Grok, like, hey, give me 5 different ways to do this that are generally agreed upon to be the most popular or common ways, and it would give you probably all the ones that are available online rather than having to watch all of them.
If you had the option to get some kind of brain chip implanted right now that would make you smarter and like, I don't know, put like a lens over your eye naturally so you had like more information at your disposal, would you do that?
My initial gut reaction is no, but I sort of want to examine that and think why that would be my initial gut reaction, because I feel like it really does depend on the situation. Here's like, I think maybe a little bit more of a nuanced answer. If my goal is still like, hey, let's focus on business, let's grow the business, yeah, I would do that. I would get it implanted because it would probably make me more productive. It would give me more access to more whatever I need in order to accomplish my business goals. If my goal is, let's say I've already met all my business goals and I don't need or want to continue to grow my business, to reach more people, to accrue more money, then the answer is absolutely not, because that's just going to distract me from what I really want to focus on at home.
What if it helps you with your business goals, but we don't know what the long-term impact is?
On health?
Yeah, on everything. You're putting technology inside your skull.
I'm oddly comfortable with those types of things.
Yeah.
Just like experimentation with that stuff. For whatever reason, I'm relatively...
For a guy with high fear, it doesn't apply there.
Let's do it. Let's try, like whatever. Like I'm always like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know why though? The reason I'm like that, and it might be naivete or overconfidence, any of those. It's also, dude, we're so good at adapting. Like the humans are outrageously good at adapting to whatever is thrown at us. It's like we just are. It's unbelievable.
Definitely true. Like generation to
Long-term as a
generation.
species.
Yeah, as a species. Within a
But
lifetime,
individually,
I don't know. Like just seeing the massive negative effect that social media is having on the youth and everyone. Like I feel like maybe we will generation over generation adjust to the faster changes in technology, but I feel like within an individual's life, not everyone seems to be adjusting that well.
I mean, I agree with that. I also feel like every older generation says that about the younger generation. Like, there's always
myself, a millennial. Like,
oh, you mean
I'm not
yeah.
adjusting.
Oh, yeah.
Our parents aren't adjusting. Like, no one's adjusting to it. I mean, people who are killers and using it to create are like Eric Roberts is adjusting to it. But for every Eric Roberts, there's a million people over consuming, just like wasting their lives away, laying in bed at night, blue light in the face, seeing people get murdered on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
But at a high level, you make a good point that we are a resilient species.
There's also a huge movement of a younger generation to be like, I'm not using social media. Like it is a big movement growing where they don't want to be on social media, and they do the opposite of whatever their parents do. And
tell me more.
From what I've seen, especially with the few young people that I interact with, or with the content that I see online, there's a growing movement of high school to young college kids who are like disassociating from the social media world because they see how horrible it. I mean, here's what I think happened. I think a lot of these kids have grown up with either siblings and or parents just not paying attention to them because they've been on their phones all the time. And I'm acutely aware of how much I'm on my phone in front of my daughters, especially my oldest one, because dude, I have one vivid memory that will always stick with me. And like, so my dad was like, when he was there, it was like often working, or just like not paying attention. Very rarely were there conversations. I have one vivid memory of me pitching. I was pitching in a baseball game. I don't know how old I was. Maybe 12, just throwing out a potential age. Maybe 11 or 12, I was pitching, and he like never came to games ever. So there was one game that he came to, and one in maybe like 2 or 3 seasons that he came to. And I was like looking to see if he was watching, and he was just on his phone, just not watching the game, just away from all the parents, away from the stands, just on his phone. That is like burned into my memory that I'll never, and I was just so mad. And I was like, so that's why I'm very aware of my phone usage in front of my daughters, because I've decided like when I'm with them, I'm not on my phone. If they're not around, sure, that's fine, but like not when I'm with them. And I feel like a lot of the younger generation has been exposed to large amounts of that, where maybe they're trying to talk to their parents, they're trying to talk to their older siblings or cousins or whomever, and they're not even making eye contact with them. They're not even looking at them. So I have a feeling that is one of the major reasons why this is pushing that younger generation away from being on their phone so much.
I hope you're right. I hope that is happening. I just wonder, based on how addictive and enticing these platforms are to use, that I hope that the number of younger people who are moving in that direction is material and adds up. And it's not just like a little fringe movement.
The counter to that would be so much of business is now done on that, right? It's like so many companies are requiring their employees to be on it in order to, like, for any number of reasons. And if you want to start your own business, you've basically got to be on it. Like if you want to have some level of entrepreneurship, you have to, you don't have to, but you basically have to, especially if you want more freedom and ability and more reach for essentially free. But that would be the counterpoint, where it's like so much of the future is going there, so that it makes it more difficult.
And is here already. Not even the future, the present. I completely agree with you on that front, that there's a sacrifice in terms of health, mental health, whatever you want to call it, to be in the places where people pay attention if you want to have one of those roles at a company or grow your own business.
Mm-hmm.
This actually bleeds nicely into something you've been doing for the last 4 Saturdays.
Oh yeah, dude. I need to show you. Should I show you right now? Like,
No.
so you,
I believe
okay,
you.
yeah,
I believe
dude.
you.
But you shouldn't. You should see. I need to prove it to you.
I believe you. And I'd be pissed if you were, especially the way you're like saying this and how confident you are and how.
No, but you should just listen. I'm very glad you believe me, but also it's like I want to prove it to you. Like I want to show you so you can really see the data.
You can pull it up. I don't think there's a way to prove it because if you're going, tell them what you're doing first.
Yeah. So I decided that I've been wanting to take Shabbat more seriously and the Sabbath more seriously. So like, I'm not. So if you want to take it really seriously, like there's no electronics whatsoever. There's none of that. For me, the one that always the app that takes up the most time for me is Instagram, because I can't go on it and just consume as because there's always work. DMs are coming in. It's like it's very hard to just use it leisurely. So I decided, I think a month ago, I was like, okay, from Friday night sundown to Saturday night sundown, no Instagram whatsoever. So 4 Saturdays in a row, zero Instagram. This past Saturday, this finger habit opened it and boom, immediately shut it. So literally less than 3 seconds, but zero Instagram, none of that. So yeah, man, it's been good. And it's crazy because I told you yesterday, as soon as I logged back on Saturday night, it's just like death, destruction, evil, da da da. Immediately. It's like first things you see. Sucked right back in.
Yeah, you were saying that as soon as you log back on, you feel worse. Like you get hit with that negativity and just feel worse immediately. But dude, the fact that you did it have done it 4 Saturdays in a row, Friday night to Saturday night, is really impressive.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, gonna try and I was telling you yesterday, like the thing that I've done with people who are trying to wean off of calorie counting is, all right, first just take 1 day a week where you don't count calories.
People who have like a disordered relationship with counting calories.
Yeah. People who are like obsessive with it and like they track their spinach, they track their onion, they track their tomato, and like they're so obsessive with it that the idea of stopping, they get fearful they're gonna gain all this fat and ruin all their progress. Okay, so how about we take 1 day a week where you don't track calories and the other 6 you do track, and you do that for a few months, and then have 2 days where you don't track and the other 5 days you do track. Do that for a few months until eventually you're not tracking at all and you're totally fine. That would be like the ultimate goal here, where it's like within a couple of years, just not on Instagram. Just gone.
I didn't
Just
tell
podcast,
him to do
just
this.
the personal trainer podcast.
I'm not making Jordan any of Jordan's Instagram followers who are upset that that's going to happen or when that happens. He sprung this on me. He surprised me with it.
It might not happen. There's a real chance it doesn't happen. Who knows?
It is a cool like reverse exposure therapy, weaning away from something method.
It's that precision nutrition style. One little thing at a time.
Yeah, but it makes more sense with somebody who's overly obsessive with calorie tracking and very fearful to not track.
Yeah.
It's not your everyday guy or gal who wants and needs to lose 50 pounds and asks you how to do it, and you're like, all right, it starts with a month of 8 ounces of water right when you wake up. There's a balance to how fast you implement habits.
Of course.
And that varies from person to person as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, shout out to my friend John Arnold, who listens to the podcast, who's on like 24 hours of no X and no Instagram as well. The timing is...
Oh, let's go, John Arnold. Let's go.
Yeah. He was feeling positive effects after 12 hours, which is crazy.
It's amazing. Good for him. That's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Man, I've got to say... Did you see RFK Jr. getting French fries at Steak and Shake or something? Did you see that?
No. Nope.
It's really disappointing, to be honest. I really, oops, my sound is on high. He made this whole fucking thing. He went to Steak and Shake, I think with Sean Hannity, and made a whole big deal because Steak and Shake has decided to stop making their French fries, stop frying them in seed oils and instead start frying them in beef tallow.
Okay.
And RFK went there and he put on this whole show, just basically being like, they're so much healthier now. These are like, I'm so glad that they're doing this in beef tallow. And ironically, when you actually look at the ingredients, they are first fried in seed oil still. And then later on, they fry them again in beef tallow. So now
interesting.
They've actually increased the caloric content. They've increased the fat content. It's just, here's my thing. Earlier on, several years ago, I was actually really excited about RFK because of how he spoke about bringing the country together. About like, he was so non-divisive, especially when he was running as an independent. And I still think he's non-divisive, which I really like. But that's why I was really in support of what he was doing, because it was just like I hadn't heard of someone who's really trying to bring both parties together. Then seeing him at Steak and Shake talking about how much healthier these fries are now because they fry them in beef tallow, I lost my shit. It's like it's sort of like when people have those Justin's peanut butter cups instead of Reese's peanut butter cups. It's like, well, these are organic. It's like it's still a fucking peanut butter cup, dude. Like it's like, oh, I'm having a cookie, but it's gluten free. It's still a fucking cookie. It was very disappointing that you're eating fast food, dude. Like, you're still eating fucking French fries and a burger and a shake at a fast, and this is how we're making America healthy again. It's like, it was, and I don't know if you don't want to get into it, but it was obnoxious.
Feels like more of a publicity stunt. I'm completely off politics, and we've also did a whole episode on seed oils. But yeah, sounds like
performative.
Some grandstanding. What's interesting is I got a little feedback on our seed oils episode about someone with severe autoimmune issues who by cutting out seed oils actually saw a massive increase in or a massive reduction in their symptoms, and we're asking about that, to which I said, I don't know. We're coming at this from the perspective of fat loss and what's
well, no, we could talk about it from a health perspective. Like, Alan Aragon's posted all of the PubMed IDs on, and like he's
not even health, but people with specific autoimmune conditions.
Here's how I look at it. If we're looking at seed oils and like someone cut out seed oils from their life, okay, so what were you cooking with cottonseed oil in your house? Like, what seed oil were you cooking with, or was it the foods that you were eating that also happened to be using seed oils? Like, most people aren't using seed oils in their homes. Like, most people are not taking seed oils and deep frying shit and cooking shit with seed oils in their home. Most of the time, they're eating very highly processed foods that also happen to use seed oils. It's like, okay, so was it the seed oils that you cut out, or was it all this other processed shit that then led to, shocker, you feel way better?
Ask Grok what the most commonly used oil is for people cooking at home, because for my whole life, it was canola oil. I would imagine for most people that's true. Maybe not in the fitness industry of people who are like more health conscious, but I think the majority of Americans use canola oil at home.
That's the most common one? I would have thought olive oil, even though it's a little bit more expensive.
No, bro. Ask Grok. Ask your new go-to.
Vegetable oil. That is the most popular one. Also, olive oil and canola oil is also popular as well.
Now, by the way, I don't want to talk about some fringe autoimmune issue. Like, I can't speak to that, and talk to your doctor and work with your doctor. It's out of my area of expertise. It also shouldn't be the focus of someone who's focused on public health for a large population, right? But it was an interesting counterpoint to which it's much easier to make a case against this obsession around a swap that is not important at all for fat loss, when fat loss is the primary thing that America needs to get healthier.
Yeah, correct. And fat loss will generally reduce inflammation, improve all health markers, Yeah, for the vast majority of people. Yeah. When I'm looking at seed oil consumption, and I think there's the data to support this, that most people are not over consuming seed oils at home. Like most people are not. It's not from whatever they're cooking. In fact, most people aren't even cooking. Like most people are not like most people are not fat because of their way they're preparing their own food at home. Like most people are overweight because of over consuming things that have already been made that are prepackaged and often will use seed oils as a result.
Yeah, I think most. Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. The majority of.
Yeah.
By the way, hearing about RFK going to whatever fast food, seed oil, and then thinking about people arguing about it in comment sections, like I can't think of anything in the world I would want to be doing
Rather
less
not.
than, oh my gosh. Like the intersection of fringe nutrition, people like having nutrition be their religion, combined with politics, combined with like social media, like arguing, just all of my least favorite things. Get out there, get some sun, lift some weights, track your macros, drink some water, and get out there and do it again. And again, and again. Get some steps in, take some deep breaths, don't spend 8 hours a day scrolling, do meaningful work. Get it together. Come on. This is a pep talk for myself as well. This is a lecture for everyone, but it's also a lecture for me. Jordan's about to hit us with a great question. I can see it. I can see it in his face.
This woman said, help, my kid ate 5 cupcakes at a birthday party.
I think you're good. Kids do the darndest things. That happens. I'd say at the next birthday party, you know?
Here's what I think is interesting. So obviously it depends on the kid and as they get older, but kids are very good at knowing when they're hungry and when they're not hungry. And they're very good at modulating what they eat, actually like pretty naturally. And I remember being a kid, and I had I generally prefer, and I preferred my whole life. Like my mom would always say, like, you're the only kid who prefers fruit over cake. Like I like that stuff. Just fortunately, if I ate more than usual without even thinking about it, I would then eat less than that the next day, and I'd probably be running around more and playing more, and I'd just be more energetic. Kids are really good with that, and I actually think if you make that a thing where it's like, oh my goodness, you ate 5 cupcakes, well now we have to reduce your calories to a child, and then you force them to do things, and like especially if they're like 5, 6, 7, 8, it's like just let them be a kid, it'll be fine. But if you start inundating them with like, okay, well now we have to reduce your calories, and now you're asking for a disorder. You're teaching them to not listen to their body anymore. So I just think I would just let it be. They're a kid. They had 5 cupcakes. It's not a big fucking deal. If they're doing that at 16, 17, 18, now I think there might be a discussion worth having, especially if they're getting overweight and they're not exercising. Like I think by the time a kid is 14, there should be some level of exercise as part of their life. And it doesn't have to be, hey, you have to work out for an hour, but it could be, maybe we're going to go rock climbing. You do weekly rock climbing, or you go and like we go on a walk as a family or whatever. Like there should be some regimented exercise by the time a kid is 14. And that might even be on the later side. Like I think maybe 12, depending, but it should be fun. It should be fun and enjoyable, but there should be a deliberate movement and exercise that I think is part of a kid's life.
Couldn't agree more with the whole answer. I would actually push it way earlier, and I would, I plan to incorporate a lot of sports / activities probably as young as like 5 or 6 years old. Not ultra competitive, but getting out there, playing with other kids, learning teamwork, having activity that is enjoyable, trying different sports and activities to see what the kid likes. I think focusing on making active play fun for kids is a way better strategy than trying to micromanage their nutrition. Now, we could, I don't necessarily want to, but we could talk about what types of foods to keep in the house. Like, I think providing access to lots of good, high quality, healthy foods is a better strategy than trying to micromanage intake of cupcakes at a birthday, pizza when they go out to eat with their friends' parents for whatever. Like, yeah, but I fully agree with your, wanting to encourage some type of exercise at some point in the childhood.
Yeah. I also feel like in this situation, if you, and this person wrote help in all caps, help, my child ate 5 cupcakes, as though that's not a help. That's not that's not an issue. If your child's a diabetic, then yeah, maybe there's a medical emergency and you didn't have insulin or something. But like for just a kid eating 5 cupcakes at a birthday party, that's not a help. I used to tell my clients when I was doing one-on-one coaching before we started working together, I was like, hey, if you need anything, email me. If it's an emergency, you shouldn't be emailing me because there's no emergencies that you should be emailing me about. If there's an emergency, you go to the hospital. And like they used to laugh when I would say this. It's like, there's no emergency about like with nutrition coaching. If you feel like it's an emergency, then you need to calm down. There's no emergency here. It's like you ate more calories, not an emergency. Relax. Like go to bed and we'll talk about it. But if you are putting that fear and anxiety and guilt on your child because you have it, if you ate 5 cupcakes, then you would feel that. And now you're putting that on your child. You're now, number one, like you're putting way too much pressure on them and way too much guilt and anxiety and shame. And you're actually teaching them to not listen to their body. You're teaching them to remove that and say, oh, so that's something I shouldn't do. So now that they are creating that fear and guilt and anxiety and shame within them that you've put it on them. Just let them be kids.
Yeah, that's the short answer is I'm not addressing it or really even thinking twice about it.
I do think you should get that rock wall for your kids.
You like
the one
the
that
rock
you
wall?
saw at my, oh dude, she's literally not yesterday, the day before, she climbed it all on her own.
Wow. Sweet.
At 2.5, she climbed the thing on her own. Insane.
Elite
and it's funny
relative
because on
strength.
that type of thing, she's fearless with that stuff. But then she sees like a teeny tiny speck of a bug on the slide and she'll run away as fast as she can. But yeah, just having as many opportunities for exercise and movement around as possible, it's the most amazing. I think it's one of the greatest gifts. Aside from just unconditional love, it's like one of the greatest gifts you can give your kid. Favorite book other than the Hebrew Bible?
Oh, what's yours?
Oh. I didn't think you were gonna like
exactly.
that.
You never know, bro. You never know.
I did not think that you were gonna like. It was the next one. I was like, he's not gonna like this one.
What do you?
Harry Potter is the greatest book series literally of all time. What's yours?
I also really enjoyed Harry Potter for fiction.
Or nonfiction. Maybe you just didn't get your letter.
Good one, George. Dopamine Nation has probably been the most impactful book I've read in the last 5+ years.
I should read that.
You should read that.
You need that.
I just think it's unbelievably insightful for this one blip in human history that we live in where we have access to cheap dopamine everywhere. Our bodies are not equipped for it. Our brains are not equipped for it. And it has a massive impact on how we live our lives. And the idea of the pleasure/pain equilibrium, the somewhat recent discovery, definitely within the last 100 years, that pleasure and pain originate from the same part of the brain. It's a fascinating book. I've read it multiple times and really enjoy a bunch of the episodes that the author, Dr. Anna Lemke, has been on a bunch of podcasts.
Biggest life regret?
No regrets. In the words of Tim Riggins from Friday Night Lights,
No regrets.
No regrets, 6.
Is there anything business-wise you wish you did differently?
I'd have to think about it. Nothing comes to mind right now.
You know, here's something. Is there anything business-wise that you're really glad you did it the way you did it?
Taking a long-term perspective on assessing success versus failure, not a month or 3 months or even 1 year or 2 year perspective, and having a thank you economy approach, a give without expecting anything in return, allowed me to have frame my expectations around success in a way where I was excited about the entire process rather than thinking about how much am I making right now? How can I close sales right now? How can I get more clients right now? Looking at it all from the perspective of help as many people as possible. And if any one of those people wants to work with me, wow, what a blessing. And working as hard as I possibly could to help as many people as possible. Which is kind of I don't know, it's hard to say exactly where, because that ethos came from many different places. But yeah, I'm very, I don't even remember the exact question, but I'm very happy that I took that approach because I see people, I see maybe some people struggle because their natural inclinations are to look at things differently, or because they learned business from different quote unquote gurus than the people who I looked up to in business at the time. I don't know. But I'm grateful that was my perspective.
Amen. Yeah, it makes me think there's a lot of shady business strategies everywhere, but also notably in the fitness industry. And I think one of the best things that I feel like you and I have both done is we've never forgotten that we're just personal trainers is what we are. And I say it like we're just personal trainers. It's not to diminish what we do. It's actually to uplift what we do. In terms of, oftentimes I think coaches will be like, oh, I want to be more than just a personal trainer. Like I want to have an empire. Mm-hmm. And then as a result of wanting this empire, because they follow motivation shit on Instagram and I want to have this empire, they end up going down these really scammy, smarmy sales routes to try and make as much money as possible off of each person. And now it becomes, they're no longer a personal trainer. Now they are a marketer, or now they are a salesperson. And they don't coach people. They don't do any more coaching. They don't do any more client interaction. It's just then now they become a manager of a larger team. And I should say there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But I think for us, it's always been like, I don't want someone else to do my coaching. Like I like being a coach. I enjoy being a coach. And it's that for me is far more important than building an empire. In fact, building an empire sounds pretty fucking awful and horrible relative to just having a relatively manageable list of clients that I can work with and give a really high level of service and positively impact their life, and also make enough money to provide for me and my family comfortably, but without this never-ending pursuit of extreme wealth that won't actually bring you happiness. And I found myself in some of those circles probably in that 2015, 2016 era of people who were like, just got to make as much money as you can, make as much money at all costs, do this, high ticket. And it just never felt good. It was like, what are you guys doing? I thought we were coaches. Why did I spend so many years studying how to be a great coach and putting out so much content on how to help people if this is it's just all about trying to make more money? And I will say one thing I've been really happy about that I didn't do, to answer the first question I asked you, was I'm really glad I never hired a huge team of coaches.
Yeah.
That, and I should say there are some people who do that and they do it very well. They do it very well and they have a great business with, whether it's Beth Farrico or Eric Roberts. They've hired pretty substantial teams of coaches, and they also give great coaching, and they do wonderful, both from business and from what I see as like a quality of coaching perspective. But oh my Lord, dude, Eric was here the other day and talking to him about how it's a full-time job just managing his team of coaches, and and then never mind, there have been issues when you have coaches and then people leaving and trying to take clients, and you have politics within your own organization, and it's like, oh my, like just keeping your team small, I think it is a massive advantage. You don't have to deal with all like the intercompany politics. You don't have to worry about being politically correct. You don't have to worry about dealing with all like people trying to steal your business or people undermining you or insubordination. It's just like, I just want to help people. And so it's keeping your team small. I think a lot of people look down on it. Like, oh my God, you've got this many employees. It's amazing. It's like, I've got a couple, and that's it. And I'm way happier as a result of it.
Also, the reason we all got into it is to help people. Like helping people on the nutrition front, on the training front, is the primary skill set of most people who start an online fitness business. And so, like managing people or managing teams or teaching an assistant coach how to coach or managing app developers, all of these things are different business skills that are very different than the reason you got into this in the first place. And so let's say you can get really good at all of those other non-fitness skills. Cool. You can scale more and you can build a bigger business. But most people's both passion and stronger skill set is in coaching and is in helping people. And so not only is it not a great fit for a lot of people to end up trying to build an empire, quote unquote, it's also not in the skill set of most personal trainers, myself included.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
We got a mentorship Q&A. Thank you very much for listening. If you listened to this long, please, from an undisclosed location, leave a 5-star review, Spotify, Apple, wherever you are listening. Next week, let's read some written reviews. Jordan, can you remind me? Next week, we're going to read written reviews.
You want me to remind you? You might want to make a note in your own phone.
I want you to dig deep right now and place that right there where the Neuralink is going to go, but isn't there yet. I want you to put a little piece of information right there. Remind me in the next couple of weeks. Okay. Thank you for listening. Do you have anything to say before we go to our mentorship Q&A?
We love you. It was a nice, brief conversation. It was good. We got to hop on this mentorship Q&A. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you to everyone who's in the mentorship. We love you. We're about to go talk to you right now. The Instagram growth guide is it's actually all uploaded onto Vimeo. We're just like putting it together into a PDF for you, volume 2.0.
Let's go.
That's it. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.